So I found this article written by this rich white suburbanite liberal individual, and it always kind of bugs me out how individuals who will scream about how, the Christian Bible thumping individuals are holding back their ability to live their lives the way they want to, always somehow seem to worship every other religion but the one that made their society as great as what it is and allows them the opportunity to fucking write and speak in this manner. So I wanted to read you this article I found. The younger brother is damaging the world. He is on the path to destruction. He must understand and change his ways or the world will die. Luis Guillermo Iquizardo lamented as he walked beside me, his cheeks swollen with the wad of cocoa leaves that he slowly masticated. Yo, you're worshiping people who act like cows. Just so you know. Ritual flute music drifted through the forest from some unseen force. Hey. Hang on 1 second, motherfucker. Fuck, I thought. All right, let's keep going. Iquizardo Amamo, or enlightened spiritual leader of Colombia's Arhuaco indigenous people, led me to the sacred natural pool, Pozo de Yaya, for a ritual cleansing. He removed his sandals, lowered himself onto a rock, and sat cross-legged beside a fast-running stream. Iquizardo bade me to remove my shoes and step into the water. Then he handed me a piece of thread representing the umbilical cord, tethering me to Mother Earth, and then a warbling falsetto told me to pour my thoughts into the thread. Hair as thick of world as flacati rug flooded over Iquizardo's shoulders from beneath a woven white conical hat, worn in reverence to the snow-capped peaks to the sacred Sierra Nevada de Santa Marta mountains. He was dressed in thick snow-white trousers and a matching serape, a shawl, of mugai fiber tied by a belt at the waist. He reminded me of a Star Wars Jedi, a wise member of the noble protective order, capable by mental training of tapping into the metaphysical force in search of peaceful and righteous solutions. The metaphor seemed appropriate. Really? Because you do realize that Star Wars is not a real fucking thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, Jedi don't actually exist. Like, I'm 99% sure they don't really exist. Like, it was just a movie. Like, you do realize it was just a fucking movie. Like, yo, you fucking retarded people, I swear to God. We want the younger brothers to know more about our culture. And that way we can stop him destroying the world, said Iquizardo, referring to the modern world beyond the realm of Aharuku. Something. The Aharuku are the neighboring Koji and Wawa and Wiwa and Malayo, one of the three virtually indistinguishable remnant groups of the ancient and advanced Tarona civilization, brutally subjugated by the Spanish conquistadors in the 16th century. The survivors retreated in the pyramidical Sierra Nevada de Santa Marta that explode upwards from the Caribbean coast of Colombia. Their homeland, the world's highest coastal mountain range, comprises every distinct climatic ecosystem in Colombia, from coastal wetlands and equatorial rainforests to alpine tundra and glacial peaks. Declared by UNESCO in 1979 as a biosphere reserve of man and humanity, the mountain range was named as the most irreplaceable ecosystem on Earth by Science Journal in 2013. The Araku Koji Wiwa community population, about 90,000, according to the nonprofit organization Cultural Survival, is one of the world's last uncorrupted indigenous civilizations that have survived culturally intact since the time of the Aztecs and Incas. Really? I mean, because they have Spanish fucking names and speak Spanish. But it's all right. It's all right, right? You know what I mean? They call themselves the Elder Brothers, are ruled by a Mamo priesthood, and maintain an ancient cosmovision, a conscious cognitive interpretation of the world, based on a worship and custodianship of Mother Nature. I really do love how you retarded liberal fucking white rich yuppie fucking female cocksuckers. Actually, I think this is a dude, to be honest with you, which makes it even fucking worse. You know what I mean? Legit, it makes it twice as fucking bad. The Memos believed themselves uniquely possessed of a mystical wisdom, much like how the Tibetan Dalai Lama was trained from a toddler to understand the meaning of life and help others achieve enlightenment. Iquizero, like many fellow Mamos, spent his entire youth in intense spiritual training, chosen by divination and sequestered for 18 years from birth to adulthood within dark confines near the summit of the Sierra Nevada de Santa Marta. They're enculturated in their societal values until they master a cosmic consciousness that they believe permits them to commune with the planet directly. They learn to work as a hidden spirit, midwives to all of life, keeping it in balance, explained Alan Era, a documentary filmmaker and founder of the Taroney Heritage Trust. Yes, they work as midwives to all of life. So they birth all of it. They help it all become born. This fucking retarded. I swear to God. The thoughts of our ancestors are embedded in every rock and every other element in which humans have contact, said Iquizero, who holds the Ahuraku belief that we exist in a conscious universe where all material things have life and awareness. It's unfathomable to them that modern man does not believe the earth consciously experiences the harm we inflict on it. They cannot understand why it is that we do what we do to the earth, said Wade Davis, an anthropologist and former National Geographic explorer in residence who spent many years studying and living among the Ahuraku. Surrounded by almost impassable jungle in recent decades, caught in the crossfire between the Colombian army, FARC guerrillas, and the right-wing paramilitaries, this lost indigenous people lived for 5 centuries in almost complete isolation and obscurity, steadfastly guarding their territory against outside intrusion. Despite this isolation, their consciousness and cosmovision it's 20 every time. Charges them with the responsibility of maintaining the harmony of nature and the universe on behalf of all mankind. Oh my God. Like, yo, for fuck's sake. 3 decades ago, the Ahuraku realized that the sacred Sierra Nevada de Santa Marta snowcaps for them, the literal heart of the world, were melting. The Paramos high-altitude savanna were drying up. Amphibians and butterflies were disappearing in 1987, concerned that the climate change was impacting the cosmos. It was impacting the cosmos. Really? Really? The Ahuraku came out of centuries of isolation to send us, their younger brothers, a message. They established Organization Indigena Ganatuwanda Tarona to represent the community at a government level, and invited Arira to film from the heart of the world, the Elder Brothers' warning. But their aching exhortation of ecological disharmony and potential disaster fell on deaf ears. 2 decades later, they called Irira back to make a sequel, Aluna. They had to do better. They had to do better, driven by fear of what they see will happen next. As the world accelerates towards calamity, the Ahuraku's self-awareness towards the Earth's ecological welfare has taken on a sense of urgency. While in Bogota researching a National Geographic guidebook to Colombia, I was introduced to the Ahuraku political representative and future Senate candidate Danilo Villafane Torres, known as El Canciller, the Chancellor, and Gran Hermano, Big Brother. Villafane inherited the mantle of tribal leader at age 23 from his father, who was killed in 1996 by drug traffickers for opposing illegal coca plantations on Ahuraku land. Villafane invited me to visit the heart of the world and care of the Izquierdo. Brother Christopher here is here to share our message with the younger brothers, Iquizero said to the border guard. He dipped his hand into a beautifully woven ziju, a shoulder bag, and withdrew a handful of cocoa leaves. The guard did the exchange. They exchanged leaves as a symbol of sharing and goodwill. We were attempting to enter the Resguardo Thorco, occupying a vast tract of land on the southern slopes of the Sierra Nevada de Santa Marta. The community's autonomous territory was granted legal recognition by the Colombian government in 1983. The Koji occupied their own Resguardo on the northern slopes, the Wiwa to the southeast. The Southern Guard scrutinized me with disdain. Iquizero, known by the honorific Mamo Manjavi, spoke again more authoritatively. I heard the words National Geographic. At that, the custodian smiled, and the massive gate swung open, creaking on their rusting hinges. The ravine/border strewn drove up from the mountain from the village. The Pueblo Buelo had challenged the goat. Few vehicles have ever made it this journey to the heart of Sierra Nevada de Santa Marta. I felt honored. Permission for honor permission for outsiders to visit the Nabusamaki, the capital of the Arthaco Resguardo, is rarely given. To be allowed entry to the Nabuaski's sacred walled inner sanctum is almost unheard of. The entrance of non-indigenous is prohibited, reads a sign above the thatched tops entrance. For the lucky few who make it inside, photography is forbidden. But the Mamos held council the evening of my arrival and granted me permission to enter. The next day, I clambered up a narrow ladder beside the gate to photograph the hallowed hamlet, nestled in a small pine-scented plateau cusped by the mountain meniscus. Huddled together against rough mud and stone, the three teenage girls giggled nervously, unsure whether to pose or flee. Younger children scattered. Women withdrew at my approach, the men aloof, expressionless and haughtily proud, avoided eye contact, impervious to my presence as I walked on a cobblestone thread between worlds. They eased past, mysterious as ghosts. Several wore cowboy hats and other sartorial accoutrements that set off their white Arhuaco attire. His beard smiled serenely. By contrast, he seemed pleased by my presence. Yeah, man, I mean, because cowboy hats, you know what I'm saying, are mad traditional. And I mean, they most definitely came from Spain. That's right, Spain. The Incas? No, Spain. They came from Spain. Yeah, I mean, you know, it is what it is. Deflated Beagle and inspired. The self-assured Mamo is at the forefront of the third wave of Arhuaco initiatives that represent a huge leap beyond the unheeded warnings from their mountain refuge. His Cuerdo champions opening up the Resguardo for ethnotourism and autonomous economic empowerment, such as the sale of Arhuaco crafts to the younger brothers. Oh, he wants to sell beads and shit. You know what I mean? Like, yo, he wants you rich white folks to come down there and buy their fucking overpriced fucking garbage. Yo, oh, this is gonna be great. Since 1995, various Arhuaco communities have organized themselves in a cooperative to produce and sell export quality organic coffee. But as climate change pushes coffee production to cooler, higher mountain slopes, they're now working to supplement coffee earnings with those from selling cacao. And spiritual leader for Portobello, the gateway village at the base of the mountains, Guerdo has promoted the cultivation of sugarcane locally produced panela, unrefined organic raw brown sugar for export. The idea is also to let the world know more about our culture. As Cuerdo said, we want to carry the message that is not simply to cultivate, but to cultivate with conscience, he added, referring to organic farming without harmful pesticides and other inputs, in harmony with Mother Nature. Oh, this is going to work out fucking great. By integrating into the cash economy, the Arhuaco are gaining cultural recognition while driving income to buy back parcel by parcel ancestral territory owned by younger brothers. His Cuerdo explained, the ultimate goal is for the Arhuaco to control more than 190,000 hectares, almost 500,000 acres, reconstituting ancestral territories like the Rombagaza jigsaw puzzle piece by piece. I watched fascinated as Guerrero moistened a wooden stick with saliva and dipped it in poporo, a gourd filled with lime and powdered seashells, a carryover from pre-Columbian civilization. Guerrero extracted some lime, wiped it on a wad of cocoa leaves to produce the cocoa-stimulating effect, and stuffed the wad in his mouth. The thick lime scale, the hard residue that builds up by incremental degree with each wipe around the rim of the gourd, is a living library of every thought underlying every stroke of the stick. For the Arhuaco, an individual's every thought or dream is literally recorded by the metaphorical action of poporando, dipping into poporo. We write our thoughts with it. It's a record of a man's entire life. You fucking white liberal retards. Like, yo, for fuck's sake. Jesus Christ. Every aspect of Arhuaco life is permeated with symbolism of weaving. Their central metaphor is a loom, Davis said. The Sierra Nevada de Santa Marta is a very spindle from which all the knowing mother's thread unwinds, turning possibility into reality, dreams, and memory. The power embedded thought is the very weft to the warp of their cosmovision. Jesus Christ. Suddenly, the meaning of the Magari thread at the Iquizardo had handed me became clear. My experience with the Arhuaco was inevitably printed in that metaphorical umbilical cord. A cord united in the past and the present, the spiritual and material worlds, and my understanding, my thoughts, dreams, and memories of the Arhuaco's cosmovision to be shared with the world. Fucking rich, white, liberal city dwellers. See, the problem is that you lost your culture, right? And you lost your meaning in life. And you think you can adopt somebody else's. But really, all you're doing is becoming a cuck. Your heritage is not that bad. Believe me, it's really not. You need to stop your fucking whining. Like, it's cool to study other people's culture, but you shouldn't worship it. Legitimately, you really shouldn't. It's cool to go, hey, this is some cool shit, check this out. But it's not all right for you to stand here and act like a fucking cuck for somebody else's shit. It's really not cool. You have your own religion, which says you should probably take care of the earth. Legitimately, your religion says that. You know what I mean? Your God created this fucking planet for you to live on. You probably shouldn't destroy it. You should treat it as your temple. You know what I mean? But it is what it is. You know what I mean? Man, look, it's Tom Pease with Penoid News. Y'all know the fucking deal. Peace.